Hi, it's Brett the Herbalist, and today we're back in the kitchen doing an eggplant zucchini bake. And this is really good during the winter because it's a really good warming recipe. I've got some chilies going into it, some fresh chilies from the garden. By the way, if you like chilies, I highly recommend growing your own because you get almost an endless supply of fresh chilies. So the great thing with eggplant zucchini, they're very, very filling, but they've got almost 0 calories. So this is a great way to help your body detox and lose weight at the same time. Alright, so what we've got about 3 medium eggplants, we've got 3 medium zucchinis, we've got 3 large tomatoes, some garlic and onions, and some thyme, which I'm going to throw in there, and also some fresh basil. So we're going to combine the tomatoes and the basil and the herbs together to make like a sauce to go over the top. And then we've got a bit of yogurt, which we're going to use instead of cheese, which you'd often use in a bake. We're going to use yogurt today, and also some coconut oil and some butter. So it's a really nice flavour when you combine those two. It gives a really nice effect in the bake. And also just to remind you, if you've got a PC and you're wanting to print the recipe, there's an easy print function on the page. So do that if you want to have this in the kitchen. Alright, so let's get into it. We'll show you how it's done. So we've got half a dozen fresh chilies here. If you don't have fresh chilies, you can always use some chili powder, cayenne pepper. Now I've got a whole handful of basil here. This is a lot of basil, so it's going to come through pretty strong. And then we'll just dice up the tomatoes. You could use a can of tomatoes if you don't have any fresh tomatoes available. And then we'll just puree these up together to make our sauce. Now I've used a little bit of a too small a bowl here, so you'd probably want to use a bigger bowl than I have, so it doesn't spray everywhere. And then, now we're just going to slice these zucchinis up into about half a dozen slices each. And same with the eggplant, about half a dozen slices of each one. Then we'll just coat the dish with some butter and coconut oil mixed. And then take the largest pieces of your eggplant and lay them down on the bottom. And you can also use the zucchinis. Just get the thickest pieces you can find for the bottom and also around the sides, just to stop everything falling apart when you serve it up. You might take a little bit of matching the right pieces into the right positions. And then the rest of the slices, just lay them next to each other, sort of stack them up if you like, and fill up the dish completely. You might just need to wiggle them around a bit to find the right positions. And then once you've got the dish full, just sprinkle over any leftover tomatoes you might have. And then we'll just get the garlic and just dice it quite chunky. And same with the onion, and sort of sprinkle that over the top as well. This makes it nice and crunchy when you eat it. Beautiful flavour too. Right, and then we'll just get the sauce that's been all pre-blended. Just spread that over. The great thing with this is you've got no egg and no real cheese or any sort of binding agents or anything like that. So this is perfect for any of the programs whatsoever. So even if you're doing the 7-day cleanse, you can use this recipe. It's really tasty and really satisfying. Okay, so instead of cheese, what we're doing here is we're just using plain yogurt. The great thing with this is that it's not acidic like cheese. It doesn't bind you up like cheese does. And you get the added benefit of the probiotics. All right, now we'll just sprinkle the thyme, some of that fresh thyme in there. You can use dried thyme if you don't have any fresh thyme. Same with the basil. You could use dried basil. And then just sort of evenly spread that over your top. So this sort of substitutes a cheese topping if you like, but it does brown up in the oven when you cook it, which is really good. Yeah, so just spread that around evenly, and you've got almost like a pie or a bake without any binders whatsoever. This is a super healthy recipe. Right, so we'll just spread that out evenly, and then once that's done, we'll just get a little bit of the thyme that's left over and sprinkle that over the top. Yep, and then all we need to do is place this in the oven 45 minutes to an hour at just under 200 degrees Celsius would be ideal. And if you're on a 1-month plan, you can always have this with a bit of fish or a couple of eggs on the side to make more of a meal out of it. Enjoy your program.